Working harder very rarely solves cash flow problems. Driven mofos, welcome back to another episode of The Underestimated Entrepreneur. For those of you who don't know who I am Michael Mojo, the founder of Mojo Human Performance Institute, where we focus on mindset, business, and lifestyle hacking for driven mofos. And the reason why I do these episodes is that most people waste their life, and I just don't want you to be one of them. Let's talk about cash flow and the cash flow struggles or the tightness of margins that a lot of business owners have. Now, the problem that most business owners face is that when margins are getting tight or when cash flow is low, they just put their foot on the gas and they work hard. But here's a few problems that most business owners don't think through. The first thing is that if you're always working hard, the rest of your team won't be working hard because there's nothing driving them. Normally there's poor leadership, there's poor management, there's poor structure and strategy within the company. And so what most business owners will say is that everything rests on my shoulders. I'm working hard all the time. I've got all these lazy MFs that are not doing anything, or, lazy mofos who aren't doing anything, and I'm always got to do everything myself. But the reason why the business owner feels like that is because when they first started their business, if they were self-employed, they normally work harder than everybody else, and that's why they get ahead. They also work smarter than other people. They are normally a bit more adaptable. They think through things more effectively. So then what happens is they start to create a bit of a market share where now they're starting to get more clients, and then they get overloaded. So now they're overloaded with clients. They have a whole bunch of leads. They've got a whole bunch of sales that they've already done. But now the fulfillment of the product or the service is lagging behind. So they go, I better hire somebody else. So they hire someone else. They bring that person on and they keep working hard. So they're still working hard doing all their jobs. And they go, shit, I need more sales to help the other guy. So then they go out and they keep selling more and they keep marketing more and keep pushing more leads through so that then they've got enough money to pay the second person. Then eventually the second turns into the third, the fourth, the fifth, and so on. But let's say now we start having what's going on in the industry at the moment, in the building industry, where margins are getting squeezed. Their profit margins are getting tighter and tighter. And so then what happens is the business owner goes, shit, we need to make more money. I better get back on the tools. So they hop on the tools or they work overtime just to keep the bills getting paid and to make sure all staff are getting paid. But what happens is normally that's a shitty strategy because most business owners, their strategy is if I want more money, I need to work harder. And it's an immediate gratification response where I work hard for a week and then I get paid. I work hard for a week, I get paid. And this is a pattern that most business owners have. So after a couple of weeks of not getting paid, they start getting really pissed off and frustrated and annoyed. And so again, they just want to keep working harder. They start doing weekends or they're working overtime, all to produce money and an income. But then they will start creating resentment towards their staff. They start getting more and more pissed off. And so most business owners at this point then downsize. They just get rid of a whole bunch of staff and go, this is too hard. I'm better off just doing it myself with a couple of people because again, I have better profit margins than having a whole team of people and all of this crap. And so they just downsize their business. Other business owners will keep pushing on and they keep going, but they just keep working harder and harder until they burn out. But that's not really what they need. What they need now is they've got to create a better strategy and they've got to step up. They have to step up to figure out how they can increase the margins. So they need to start negotiating with suppliers and trying to get better deals on their suppliers. They need to negotiate better with their accountants and finance people to try to figure out how they can increase their profit margins. So do they have to tighten up some things? Do they have to cut back on certain costs that are just money wasted? Are staff working hard enough and producing enough? Because maybe sometimes staff aren't producing enough. If they're supposed to have a 1 hour lunch break and they're having an hour and a half lunch break and you've got 10 guys, you're essentially losing 5 hours worth of paid time per day. And this happens consistently in businesses. The boys are out on a job, they've popped in somewhere, they've taken an hour and a half lunch break, and then tomorrow, one of the boys has to pop out to a doctor's appointment and does it on the books and no one really knows about it. All of this stuff happens as businesses grow and people just aren't aware of it. The business owner's not aware. But what most business owners do is they just work hard because they think that, in order to make up those margins and get more money, I just got to work harder. But that strategy stops working as you scale a business. So that business owner, the best thing that they can do is they might have to put in a few more hours back on the tools, but they need to be making better strategies and tightening things up in the business and really looking over things and going, where can I increase those profit margins? Where can I cut costs? Where can I increase costs? Or where can I increase margins on jobs? Maybe they need to learn how to sell better. Most trade-based businesses and most businesses just in general are really shit with selling. And so I hear this all the time when I'm doing sales for someone to come to our Business Growth Odyssey, our event, our 12-month business growth course. I'll hear them say, yeah, but Michael, you don't understand. Margins are getting squeezed. I can't get good staff. And they'll complain about all these problems. But that's because they're used to building a business where it's small. That stops working as you start to scale. And so what they really need to do is they have to stop. They need time away from the business. They need to be able to think through things more effectively. And they need to become a leader and a manager in the business, not someone who's on the tools all the time. When you do that, you're always going to have ineffective and inefficient staff. You just can't scale a business if you're always on the tools and not looking over everything. You need to be the one who's driving everybody and making sure that everything stays tight within that business. If not, you'll just work your ass off and get nowhere. It'll be like being bogged in a car, keeping your foot flat on the gas, and then trying to figure out why you're chewing through fuel or petrol, but you're not getting anywhere. And that's how most people operate their businesses. So I hope this is something to think about. If you're someone out there right now who is in a scaling business and you're thinking, shit, this sounds exactly like me, hit me up. Jump across to the No BS Business Hacks group or the No BS Business Hacks on Facebook. Join the group. It's free. If you just go to your search bar on Facebook, type in No BS Business Hacks, you'll see it pop up. Join the group. In there, you can book a call with me. It's a strategy session and we can come up with a 90-day game plan to help you to get out of that pattern. Because so many business owners have it. Once they start getting past 4 or 5 staff max, they will start to get into that position where they just end up in a bind and they don't know what to do. And the strategy is just to work harder, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to make any more money. And normally, for some businesses, the more staff that they keep hiring, they start losing money and they just end up more burnt out, stressed out, frustrated, fucked off with everyone and angry and disconnected, all of that sort of stuff. And then it starts to impact their family. It starts to impact their health. For a lot of business owners, they drink, take drugs. They might end up on a whole bunch of pain medication or antidepressants and all those sort of things. And it doesn't need to happen, especially when there's tools out there to help you to step into a better leadership and management position and really start to control the business. You've got to become the driver of that business and make sure that everyone's on their game. Not just you go and do your job and be super productive and just leave everyone else to their own devices and then flip out when they're not. Okay, because that's what a lot of business owners do. Anyway, Driven Mofos, I hope this chat helped. I hope you're having a great day. Keep crushing it, keep pushing hard. And if you haven't jumped across to the No BS Business Hacks group on Facebook, please do so. Also, remember, if you're liking these podcasts and you're getting value out of it, please remember to jump across and hit those star reviews. The more star reviews we can get, the better we rank. So please, if you can do that for me, that would be absolutely amazing. I really do appreciate it. I know some of you have written reviews on the Apple Podcast app. I also know on Spotify you can't do that, but you can at least give me a star rating. So if you're loving this podcast, this stuff that I'm sharing, please hit the star review and just give me a 5-star, 4-star, or whatever you want. But it all helps. So anyway, Driven Mofos, have a great day. I look forward to you joining me back here on the next episode. Take care.